Now for insight on what we can expect today and more analysis, Harvard Law Professor Emeritus Alan Dershowitz, the author of Get Trump, The Threat to Our Civil Liberties, Due Process, and Our Constitutional Rule of Law. Sir, great to have you in today. This would be routine for most people getting booked at the jail, but this is anything far from routine. We're looking at America's mayor here, aerials above Atlanta. Professor Dershowitz, tell us your reaction to sort of the historic booking that will take place today in Fulton County.
It's a tragic day for America when lawyers get indicted for having given legal advice, even if the legal advice turned out to be wrong. They're making up crimes. It's not a crime to proclaim your client innocent. It's not a crime to seek alternate electors. It's not a crime to demand recounts. They just don't like the politics that was played, very hardball politics, and it lost. By Giuliani, by Eastman, by Trump himself. But the idea of turning that into a RICO, I litigated several cases against Rudy when he was the U.S. attorney, but those were all cases involving organized crime. Never before, in my knowledge, has the RICO statute been used by a state prosecutor to try to convict people who have been conducting a political campaign to reverse an election. The answer to that is don't vote for him if you don't like him. But the idea of criminalizing legal advice is so dangerous to America. Today it's used against Giuliani. Tomorrow it could be used against Democrats as well.
Professor Dershowitz, as far as the procedure today, this is just a booking. It's not an arraignment, and they're going to arrange a bond. Presumably after this, Giuliani flies back to New York. He, continues on with his life. There's reports there might be a fundraiser in a few weeks at Bedminster for him, and obviously then they mount a defense. Do you think he brings in a move to possibly move this to federal court, as Mark Meadows has done, and also Jeffrey Clark?
It's a very hard thing for Rudy Giuliani to do. The reason Mark Meadows can do it is he was an employee of the government, and the rule provides that a government employee operating within the scope of his employment can bring a motion to bring it to federal court. He would have to make an interesting and creative argument. He would have to say, look, I'm not a government employee, but I've been indicted together with government employees under RICO and conspiracy statutes, so I have standing because I've been indicted together with government officials to move the entire case into federal court. He could make that argument. A clever lawyer could probably do a good job presenting it, but my prediction is it would fail. On behalf of Rudy, I think it may very well succeed on behalf of Mark Meadows.
Professor Dershowitz, thanks so much for joining us to react to the breaking news happening right now live in Atlanta. Appreciate it always, sir.
Thank you.